What it do, Past the Aux crew? Just Jaden today as Wyatt.
It was a patch of crabgrass.
Okay, get back in.
No, let me grab a rock.
Okay. We're here today for Rick Ross's 12th album, Set in Stone. Flopped. Wasn't that great. Did you get a rock?
I got a rock. A stone.
Throw it up. Say hello to Rick Ross. And you can't tell me.
Wait, you gotta edit his face on there for the thumbnail.
And you can't tell me our budget's not fucking increasing here on Past the Aux. We've returned. They said it wouldn't happen, but yet again, we've proved all of the haters wrong. And Rick Ross has now left the car. Thank you, Rick Ross, for coming.
Sorry.
And Wyatt and I, both of us, not really big Rick Ross fans, I would say.
No,
but you like him.
Yeah.
He's kind of a feature artist. You like to hear him, but are you ever going to go see him or listen to him? No, not really. So, didn't have huge expectations heading into this album. It was, 19 songs,
yeah,
I believe. And, it's kind of one of those albums where, yeah, it's a little longer, but I feel like there's enough for somebody to like something in it. It wasn't It wasn't an album where every song sounded the same. There was enough diversity in the beats, the flow, the features. Wherever there's got a little bit of something for everybody. And for somebody, like Rick Ross, the Stone Man, trying to copy Drake's flow with Iceman. This was an album that I would say, I enjoyed overall. And I don't know. Maybe I'll listen to a little bit more Rick Ross after this, but to me, this is a fresh, taste after Ken Carson
and Drake. Back to back. That was kind of rough.
Yeah.
It's
nice to just have something where I describe the beats as kind of like this. There's some eerie kind of electronic. It's not loud. It's not in your face. It's kind of on the low, the undertones, and it's got the Miami sound on some of these songs. It's
that classic Rick Ross, kind of mellow.
It's a calm luxury. It's not an in-your-face luxury. And I think he starts with that from the get-go. I like Caviar Bumps, the opening track. It's a little slower. Usually, maybe some people don't want features on an opener. I think that song could have used a feature just to kind of bump it up a little bit more. I liked Camel Meat as well. That song was just a little bit different. To have a skit at the beginning, to have a skit at the end. But that song to me, Camel Meat, sounds like the picture of Rick Ross out in Saudi Arabia with the bird on his arm.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? That's what that song sounds like to me. It's the over-the-top rich bravado that Rick Ross encompasses. And I was like, yeah, this song's tough.
Yeah. Was that the jump for you between Caviar Bumps and then... Were there no songs in between that you liked?
No.
Really?
No.
Because you kind of shit on it earlier, but I kind of liked Mahogany Caskets. I thought T.I. did okay on it too.
I just thought the beat was whack on the one with T.I.
See, I thought the beat was okay. I thought it was more of kind of the beginning of that album, how it sounded. I thought that was more of that classic Rick Ross sound, but maybe I missed something. I only really listened to it
once again, to me, this is an album where I'm not mad at any of the songs because I think there's just different tastes.
Right.
And I think that's a song that for some people is more their taste, and for me, just, I don't know, kind of wasn't. Maybach Music, what was it, 7, I believe?
7. With
Jeezy and Don Toliver, I was a fan of. Don Toliver did not have the government-mandated verse. He just sung the hook, the chorus, because Rick Ross can't really sing. And I thought Rick Ross did a good job on that song, and compared to maybe Lil Wayne, what we've seen with the Carter series and how that's really kind of taken a hit. For Rick Ross to have that Drake timestamp, that Kendrick the Heart, his signature series, and still have quality this deep into his career, I'm at least happy with that, because maybe there's a couple songs in here that, the label kind of pushed, or even Don Toliver. How close are Rick Ross and Don Toliver? Maybe not that close, but Rick Ross makes it work. And I don't feel like the song doesn't make you feel like it was forced, even if perhaps maybe it was.
I
disagree.
I mean, we've done so many reviews on this channel where we're talking about Don Toliver. I'm sick of it. We hear Don Toliver on our Jack Boys review, and it makes sense. He is a Jack boy.
Yeah.
you know, the Kanye. He's worked with Kanye. We had him on the Mount Rushmore discussion, I think. And why is he on a Rick Ross album? That's my question.
I agree.
For a hook,
I agree.
okay, I get it. At least he didn't have a verse, but
Well, he's
I'm
kind of
done with Don
he's the industry's golden boy right now.
He is.
He makes a lot of money because his albums sell, his tours sell. He's not involved in anything politically.
No.
He doesn't have concerts like Travis Scott where people die. Like, as of July, what day is it? The 26th of 2026. Don Toliver is a pretty safe artist overall.
He's what 21 Savage was like 5 or 6 years ago.
I wouldn't even say that. I don't.
Free streams.
Yeah, but 21 Savage to me wasn't marketable to everybody.
I think he was after he did the Post Malone song. What was it? Rockstar. I think after the Post Malone song, and dare I say, you put him with a white artist, it made him more marketable to the general audience. Because he's a guy with face tattoos from Atlanta. It's not marketable at first. I think after that, he became a marketable artist. He is
like
British.
he's an Atlanta LARPer.
Well, he was like raised in Atlanta. Hey, we aren't allowed to talk about Atlanta.
That's true.
On here, though.
That's true, but we could talk about the UK. Why don't we listen to some UK rappers? I'm gonna find that. No, there's some hard UK drill.
There's a few UK underground guys who you would hate because their voices on underground.
Where's SD Kid from?
Liverpool, but he's kind of industry plant.
Because I got a take about SD Kid. I think his music's good, and I think he got like mainstream bombed.
Yeah.
Because he became corny within like 2 weeks.
It was too fast of a come up.
Yeah.
It pushed him back down. Yeah.
I shouldn't have known about him yet.
You should. That's a great take. You should not have known about SD Kid.
Yeah. But UK drill. Maybe that's coming next.
Okay, Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Never thought I would be dying to go back to talk about Rick Ross.
I mean, Living Large is one I liked. Put BigXthaPlug and Rick Ross on a song. We got two big fat asses making a good song. And this maybe, I'm gonna say this. I've been indifferent to BigXthaPlug. Indifferent. This made me maybe want to consider listening to him a little bit more because I like his flow. Compared to Rick Ross too, like BigXthaPlug just has a type of voice that you don't hear as much. And I like Living Large with him as well.
I think it's maybe too many fat rappers on one song. I'm not loving like the fat rapper hype. You know, Dave Blunt's came up for some reason.
Dave Blunt isn't even a rapper. That's what people need to understand.
He is in the rap.
I can't put down the cup. Like he's a singer, a bad singer at that.
Right, but Mexican OT, BigXthaPlug.
Ooh,
Mexican OT, fat Mexican rapper. I gotta.
Okay.
Get back.
Yeah.
I've never really been a fan of BigXthaPlug because I think he's really one-dimensional, and I listen.
So is Rick Ross.
He is, yes, but I'm always referencing this. I listen to kind of one-dimensional. I listen to kind of shitty rap. BigXthaPlug, it's usually the same beat. It's the same flow. It's kind of the same lyrics. I thought that's what it was here.
I agree.
I appreciate Rick Ross on this album trying with songs like GT3 RS and 23, even if they didn't work out. It kind of got the same reaction as Future did with 2018, but I appreciate it. BigXthaPlug, I don't think, really reinvented the wheel with his verse.
No.
But Rick Ross throughout the album was kind of changing things up.
Yeah, Rick Ross plays within his toolbox on this album. He didn't reinvent the wheel. There's nothing new Rick Ross, but I think the sonics are familiar, yet different enough from song to song, and his flow, what he raps about, is the same. See, the Ken Carson review, a lot of people were upset at how I kind of said it was repetitive.
Yeah.
Or he only talks about these three things. I said codeine, hose, money. That's like Rick Ross's go-to.
Right.
But he makes it interesting, and every song did not sound the same. There's some that are similar, but not every song was the same. And I'm gonna wrap up the last one I like with The Algorithm. Was the outro track, kind of similar to Caviar Bumps at the beginning, with this kind of chill, no feature, just smooth rap.
Yeah.
Maybe this album as a whole doesn't stick to me 5 years from now, tomorrow, a week from now, but it was an enjoyable time. I wasn't begging for the album to be over. And that's kind of my like one sentence thing. I enjoyed the album experience. We're harsh on music sometimes. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Not every album can be a game changer. And I honestly think that the streams, the week one sales, don't accurately reflect the quality of this album. I think that it deserves a little bit more love. Because I just feel like there's at least maybe one or two songs that most people will like. You can't give Experiment to people and find one or two songs that everybody will like.
No, I don't get how this album did 26K in the first week, because Rick Ross is a pretty like big name. I think we were starting to touch on it a little bit off the air last week with like what happens with artists when they're aging. I think it's just kind of a byproduct of Rick Ross getting older and his fan base getting older. Maybe they don't have time to listen to the music as much, but this still flopped really hard, even if that's the case. So
it flopped, but I was also interested in this. We mentioned this back kind of on the Ye video, but Rick Ross is signed to Gamma, same as Ye, which is a record label, but not really a record label. They're like a record label for independent artists, usually established ones, not like Wyatt or I. But, you know, so he flopped, but part of Gamma is like their promotion is not crazy good. For Bully, you know, Ye's comeback album, his first solo album since Donda, we get the Bully drones. I don't even know if you saw about that. There were these Bully drones that would go out to like some field in Texas, and like it would make an alien spaceship and pretend to abduct a cow.
Wow.
Nowhere on the same level as the Donda listening parties. So Gamma, yeah, they're good at getting the music out. That was a big struggle for Ye during the Vultures era. He wasn't signed to anybody. It was just hard getting the music on streaming. Gamma does a good job of distribution. I just don't know for promotion. You're lacking that part of a record label. And I think that was part of the failure of this. But once again, he's not signed to an actual record label. So how much of a failure really was it? Like, to us, we can say it was a failure, but it's like if you made a low budget movie and it made $10 and you spent $10. It's like, yeah, you lost. I mean, it didn't make money, but you didn't really lose that much either.
I think for it being Rick Ross, it is kind of a flop. Now, I know he can post he'll just spread Maybachs all over the place. Just Maybachs in one arm. I don't even know what car. Rolls Royce on the other arm. He's obviously a very successful person, so I don't think this is really going to affect him. But I think for it being a name like Rick Ross, it is a flop still. Yeah. Even if you can blame it on there not being too much promo, because I'll admit I didn't really hear about this before it came out, but I think because
I'd only heard about it because everybody was clowning on it when it first got announced. It was announced before Iceman came out, I think, and everybody was calling it Stone Man.
Honestly,
that's the only reason I heard about it.
It might have flopped harder if the album cover wasn't so bad. And if Gucci Mane wasn't on this album, I think Gucci Mane might have had some influence with that album cover because of how bad it was, and I think that might have sparked some conversation. Got a couple more thousand sales.
I'll wrap my points up kind of with this. He had a song called Smoking Part 2 on French Montana's album last month with Max B, and I actually enjoyed that Rick Ross song. I thought that was a good song overall. They went back and collaborated on this album, a song called Minks in Miami. Kind of reminded me of when Cardi and The Weeknd did Timeless and what was it? Rather Lie.
Oh.
On I Am Music, and Timeless was the way better one. Smoking Part 2 to me is the way better one. It just surpasses Minks in Miami, and I kind of feel like Rick Ross took he got the worst option out of the two songs, and I mean, it is what it is. We still got both of them out, but that was kind of my last one. I wasn't crazy for that. I think that the better of that whatever studio session was already released a month ago, and for me, it's like, yeah, it's an album I'm not going to greatly recommend. But if you're looking for an album that sounds a little bit different than maybe what you're hearing, and you know Rick Ross is going to give you some level of quality, this is an album that, you know, I could recommend. There's some skips in it for me. I know you mentioned the the Porsche
911.
You like that song?
I hated it.
Okay, I didn't like that song either. I didn't like the 23, the song about Jordan, as a LeBron fan. There were just a couple songs there that I didn't like, and here's how you listen to this album. If you don't like the song, skip it. Within the next couple of skips, you'll find a song you like. And that's kind of how I feel about this one. I would recommend it, but I'm not going to strongly recommend it.
I probably wouldn't recommend it, but I wouldn't say like, oh, you have to listen to this because it's so bad. I would just, in general, like, you don't have to listen to it. If you want to, I don't think you'll get a whole lot out of it, but it also won't be a complete waste of an hour. You might find a couple songs you want to put on your playlist. But
This is a playlist album. You will find a couple playlist songs, and just set your expectations getting into it, and you won't be disappointed.
You can live without it, or if you ground yourself in reality, it's an okay album to listen to.
All right. Pass the Aux crew, what it do? Back in the car, 23 subs. End of last video, we said when we hit 50, we are blowing him up. So, I don't know if I'm reading the messages correctly, but we got 0 subs.
Right. A ton of hate comments, though.
So maybe you guys don't want Wyatt to die. So we will switch it up. If we hit 50 subs, we are both blowing up. Live on stream. So a lot of people don't like me. So let's...
50 subs, we only blow him up. I will take over the podcast. Hell, I'll stop posting. We will stop posting if you get us to 50 subscribers.
All right, that's all for Pass the Aux today. We'll see you guys next time on a very special reacting episode.